So, I made a TikTok video recently. Some people, actually a majority of people, loved the video, others less so. More or less, the people that didn't like the video did not like my tone, my bluntness, you name it, they just didn't like it.
All right, there's a lot to unpack here, and by no means am I trying to be mean or anything like that, but you might not like some of the things that I'm about to say. So first off, it's been 6 fucking weeks. You've lost 6 pounds. That's a pound a week. What more do you want in terms of weight loss and the speed of weight loss?
Then there was like one or two individuals in the typical internet police fashion called me an ableist. Now, at this point in my social media career, which really isn't that long in the grand scheme of it all, I have been called just about every single ist you can think of. And in just about every single situation, it's usually the case of someone disagreeing with what I'm saying, and instead of coming up with some coherent talking points or engaging in a civil discussion, it usually results to them going to name calling. And today I want to elaborate on what I said in that actual video and kind of give you a reality of the situation when it comes to obesity. But before we dive into that, welcome back to the program, you beautiful people. And if you happen to be new here, my name is Dr. Dan. I'm a pharmacist turned obesity expert. And hey, I need you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you don't miss another episode every week that I put them out. As well, check me out on my other channels at the official Dr. Dan. I'm on the Tik, the Talk, the Gram, you name it. TikTok is where I post some videos, and the Gram is where I give you a bit of my daily life updates and all the cool, interesting things or not so interesting things that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. As well, if you need some help on your weight management journey, check out our website, healthevolved.co. Again, that's healthevolved.co, O as in orange. Check out the website and you can book a free consultation with myself to see if you'd be a good fit for our program. So let's dive into this video. The main takeaways that I was really trying to emphasize here is that weight loss and managing your weight are fucking hard. Hell, life is fucking hard. If you have goals or things that you want to achieve, they're not just going to be handed to you. You have to go out and work for them. And yes, we all have different challenges and such like that that are going to impede us and make it more challenging for some people than others. But nonetheless, work still needs to be put in wherever you're starting from. And I'm finding more and more in the internet space is that some people seem to think that everybody would be a lot happier if we all just got everything that we wanted. Our world would become this wonderful utopia where it's always summer, you can eat whatever you want and not gain weight, and your shit smells like roses. Unfortunately, that is not the reality, and in fact, nobody would be actually happy if everything was just handed to us. We would just be entitled, self-centered, ungrateful assholes, more so than we currently are. The only difference would be is that to pass the time, we'd be flinging rose-smelling turds at each other. You see, I believe the purpose of life is to continually be striving to overcome life's challenges, to continually solve problems, if you will, with the ultimate goal of creating better problems, not just having those problems solved for us. So you just reached your goal weight? Fantastic, awesome. You solved the problem of losing weight. Now you have the new problem of maintaining your weight loss. Most of the time, what is actually happening is that on a day-to-day basis, you're solving a number of micro problems. It requires you to try something, see if it works. If it does, fan-fucking-tastic. If it doesn't, then you go back to the drawing board and you try something else. This process is ultimately repeated over and over and over again throughout the duration of your life. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds fucking miserable. How on earth could this be the purpose of our lives? And that's a fair question because no doubt it can be miserable. Failing or not being good at something the first go around can suck. It can hurt. There's a lot of pain and anguish that ultimately goes with it. But this is where we derive our life's purpose. This is where we create fulfillment and joy in life. And to prove it to you, I want you to think about any kind of challenge or thing that you had to overcome in your life. Did you regret persevering and continuing forward despite all the hard, anguish, and painful things that you had to go through? Of course not. In fact, you probably feel a great deal of pride in the fact that you didn't give up. You kept on going despite everything being against you, despite how fucking hard it was, despite how much pain you endured while you went through that process. Now, let me elaborate in a more detailed example. If you happen to have children, I want you to think about them. If you happen to be childless like myself, I want you to think about someone else's kid. Now, think about that child learning to walk for the first time. Usually it starts with them trying to stand up under their own power, taking a step or two, and then falling down with possible tears to follow. After falling down that first time, does the child just sit there and say, "Well, I guess I'm just not going to learn to walk"? Of course not. Tears or not, they get up and they try again. And again, and again, and again, until they become an annoying bipedal adult like the rest of us. Now, to go even further, if you happen to be a parent, you can think about the process of actually raising a child. Think about the times that you might have been mad or frustrated with your children. Now, again, I don't have kids, but I can think back to my own childhood, and while I was a decent, okay kid, I can tell you, I knew how to push my mother's buttons. And even to this day, I can still be a little shit. In fact, I think at one point in time, my mother actually had to go on high blood pressure medication, which she coincidentally, at least that's what I'm telling myself, was able to stop that said blood pressure medication when my brother and I moved out. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make here is that being a parent is hard. Growing up is hard. But if we think about all those incredible moments, not only as a parent, but also as a child, where we reached certain milestones, we took those first steps, thinking about all of those incredible moments, despite these periods where shit was really fucking hard, there is some really magical things that have happened in our lives. Even the times where your kid brought you their first drawing and it was supposed to be a duck with the sun behind it, but it actually looked like two moose kind of getting it on, if you know what I mean. While there certainly are moments of pain and anguish that we've all gone through, there are a lot of other incredible moments that are truly fulfilling and amazing if you really think about it. And it's those moments that make the pain and suffering totally worth it. Those are the kind of moments that make my friends say, having children are so amazing, I can't wait for you to have them as well, even though they're looking at me with bloodshot eyes and you can kind of tell they're a bit dead inside because they haven't slept properly in 2 years. Achieving any kind of goal in life requires you to go through a process. Yes, we all don't start at the same level, and I agree, we should have greater equality in this world. But as it stands right now, we don't. We're all starting at different levels, but that doesn't mean we cannot go through the process of improving ourselves every single day. The process of finding solutions to your problems, creating new problems, and then finding solutions to those problems. Solving these problems, working towards a goal, ultimately requires work, time, sacrifice, and delaying gratification for the much bigger picture. And weight loss and weight management, they're not easy, even with medications and treatment options like Ozempic or Wegovy. And in fact, for some of you, it might be the most challenging journey you have ever embarked on, or is currently the most challenging journey that you are currently on. You will have to work your ass off. You will have to watch other people lose weight more quickly than you. And you're going to want to give up and quit. You see, a common mistake that many people make, whether it's on their weight management journey or whatever journey that they're currently on, and it might be part of the reason why they ultimately fail to reach that goal, is they fall in love with the idea of the result. When I reach X point in my life, well, then I'll be happy. The reality of the matter is the ones who fall in love with the process, the ones who fall in love with solving problems and making new problems, they are the ones that are ultimately the most successful. They become prideful and grateful for the work and things that they're able to do, the mental capacity and the mental grit that they develop. They become grateful for everything that their body has allowed them to do, for the strength that they're able to build. That even when they wanted to stop and give up, they didn't. They kept moving forward. Losing weight is fucking hard. Life is fucking hard. But life and our purpose in this life is to solve problems, in my opinion. And at the end of the day, the result is ultimately not what matters. It's the process and the work that you put into it that are going to bring you the most fulfillment and joy. Living a fulfilling life is hard and painful, but so is living an unfulfilling life. And as cliche as it sounds, choose your hard. Choose the pain that you are willing to endure. So that is it for today, you beautiful people. If there are any questions, drop them down below. And of course, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss another episode. Check me out on my other channels at the official Dr. Dan. As well, check out our website, healthevolved.co. Again, that's healthevolved.co. And you can book a free consultation with myself and we can see if you're a good fit for our program. And of course, everyone, always remember, small tweaks lead to massive peaks.